I want to talk about this right here. Are you black enough? Are you black enough for your friends, your family, to attract the people that you want to attract? I was in when I was in college. This was some time ago. I had a professor, and all the black students they just loved this guy. They thought he was so cool because he was white, but he could like really do the black thing, the black thing. He could talk ghetto or whatever, however you want to call it. If that offends you, then I'm so sorry. But he could be that way in class, and I would sit there and I would watch him, and I'm like, there's a little something else going on here. I mean, granted, dude, he was blonde hair, blue eyes. He was wearing $500 suits every day to a community college. Had a nice car, very nice car. Owned a couple homes, and the black kids loved this dude. And I'm like, okay, all right. I talked to him. He was a good instructor. I enjoyed him. Taught his class well. I was asked to be part of a community, I don't know, some kind of city community thing. I was asked to join this group. It was a whole room in a big community center, I don't know, mayor and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, that professor happened to be on the board. I'm not sure if he was one of the ones that invited me to be a part of it. And that man stood up and he spoke in a manner that I had never heard him speak. He was very high level. He flipped a switch. He flipped the switch. No, he didn't flip the switch. He flipped the switch back. He was great at code switching to attract the kids that he needed to reach. I believe there's a scripture that talks about becoming whoever the person or the type of person that you want to reach. You become that, not to belittle yourself or not to sell out on what you believe in and who you are, but you become that to attract them, to help them, to pull them up. Well, I've never seen him actually switch back in class. He had only pulled in the students that he could get because of his manners and the way he could switch it up. Now, are you black enough? I've been in situations where I'm just, I'm not black enough and I'd have to switch it up. And I didn't like that. Now, where am I from? I'm from the Far East, East Oakland. Yeah, we could get down, but that's not who I chose to be, but I could switch it back over. But that in itself, it made it hard for me to be accepted as the way I normally would like to move in and out of society. Could I switch it up? Yeah, I could. And in moving in and out of different groups, you find yourself in a situation where you have to be a certain way to be accepted by that group. But a lot of you, and I know some of you, find yourself in a situation where you're not black enough to be accepted by the black groups. And when I say that, I mean, just hey, but they can't switch this, they can't flip the switch, they can't tune it down. And then you too black to be accepted by the, hi, how are you? So where do you fit in? Where do you fit in? What is your benefit? I know there's absolute benefit in being able to switch back and forth because there's people that go for jobs. And I know one situation where a young lady went for a job interview, she was very smart. She chose not to be articulate. That was her choice. She went into an interview with some very well-to-do people who had money dollars, and they wanted to pay her a bunch of money to do something, but she refused to change her attitude, change her mode, change her dress. And you have to be able to do that because, I remember a long time ago, somebody told me the world doesn't owe you nothing. Yeah, we were, as a group of people, we were brought here out of our desires. We was kidnapped, drugged here. But still, you have to take advantage of what's in your hand. So she got the job offer, but they still had to ask one more question. Well, Do you have any gang affiliation or what's the deal? And she became so offended that she turned down a good paying job. So now here definitely is a scripture. Be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. Know how to move in and out of those situations. Are you black enough? How do you present yourself? How do you dress yourself? Are you into the big lashes and the bright clothes? Are you sagging your pants? Are you presenting yourself in a certain way? And that's who you are, then that's acceptable. But how far is that going to take you? How far is that going to take you? Yeah, that's living within the blackness of our society, because that ain't African American culture. That ain't African culture. This shirt is African. This is actually from Uganda. I brought it back from Uganda, which their attitude is different. The only thing they might do is try to act like blacks that are in America that consider themselves African American, but that's about it. So where do you fit? This is probably going to offend some people, but that's fine. Leave your comments. I've been getting some really, really good comments. I will respond as long as it's something for me to respond to. But are you black enough for your group, your family? Are you too black for your family? Not black enough for your friends? Are the people that you want to be your friends? Are you attracting the people you want to attract? I know I wasn't black enough for a whole lot of beautiful black women that I wanted to be attractive to. They wasn't interested. I wasn't black enough. And I don't mean color-wise. And then I wasn't white enough for the others. And I'm not attracted that way anyway. So that's cool. So leave a comment and let me know what you think. Where do you fall on the blackness scale? Me? This is what you get. What you see is what you get. That's a song. So where do you fall? And where does it benefit you to learn how to flip that switch? Code switch when you need to. Code switch. Play the game. There's nothing wrong with playing the game. As long as it's going to bring some money, it will alleviate some pain. All right. Code switching.